What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are in the fifth week of our homeschool program. Let me check today's date. Today is May 7th. So we're moving right along. We're going to finish up at the end of May. Lots of things. We've gone over lots of things, still a lot of things to go through, and I'm excited about this lesson today about 10 English speaking hacks, things that you can do to help improve your English speaking and your performance when speaking in English. And again, we're releasing these videos. This is our content. Usually it's for our private students, but we're releasing them for free because we want to support you in any way that we can. A lot of things out of your control. The world is out of your control. COVID is out of your control. But what is in your control is your mind and how you spend your time. So figure let's do some things together. And also, I'm inside all day, so I want to just do something while I'm inside. So it is partly selfish as well. But anyway, hopefully you find this stuff helpful. All right, let's get into the lesson. So this is from tsdprep.com. It's our website, and you can visit us for your TOEFL score as quickly and easily as possible, but we also do English speaking help. About me, I teach ESL and TOEFL, mostly TOEFL nowadays, and in my free time I spend a lot of time writing articles and making videos for TOEFL and for English language fluency in general. So this goal is pretty simple. Going to give you a lot of ideas, a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of hacks, and hopefully you can find a couple of them that you'll be able to use when you're studying at home. All right. And also, of course, we have accent evaluations right now. You get to meet 30 minutes with an expert teacher like Sue here, who can tell you exactly about your speaking, strengths, weaknesses, and how you can improve on them over time. Definitely take advantage of this. It's only $9, usually $29, and this will be ending at the end of May. All right, so check that out. And our Accent Builder program, that's our classes where we help you improve your accent in just 60 days. And check it out, tsdprep.com. All right, now, first tip, let's get right into it. Use your hands. So, hands. Use your hands when you are speaking. Basically, you want to be expressive when you speak. You want to feel what you're saying. I'm putting my hands up right now so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But when you're using your hands and speaking, you don't want to be doing this. But when you're naturally using your hands and talking about what happened to you in your life, I feel like I'm speaking sign language right now. But basically, I'll stop with the hands. But basically, you want to use your hands when you speak because your body influences your speech. And that's going to be something that's going to be reoccurring throughout this lesson, is this idea that how your body moves and what you do with your body affects your speech a lot. If you're really stiff and tight, you can't speak very well. You sound nervous, right? You want to be relaxed, and part of that is having your hands moving. I try to move my hands pretty often when I do these lessons, even though you don't really see it. It's kind of happening under this part, but I'm moving my hands and using my hands when I speak. So that's one thing that you could use to help you improve your speaking. Now, how do you do that? Well, we usually teach TOEFL, and when we have students do a TOEFL speaking question, sometimes if the student feels comfortable, we'll ask them to record themselves. So when I ask you in your own language, where are you from? And you say, oh, I'm from Valley Stream, it's a place, in New York and that kind of thing. I can use my hands a little bit and feel more comfortable. But if I'm speaking in another language, I might get tight, be like, I'm from Valley Stream. And so I might get more nervous and tight. So you want to try to use your hands. It shows relaxation and it has an impact on your voice. All right, that's it. Tip number 2, have a reward. What this means is that when you're practicing speaking at home, you probably don't want to do it. It's a little annoying and it's maybe a little uncomfortable to do by yourself. You don't want to record your voice. You don't want to listen to your voice. I understand. I do the same thing for Japanese when I study. And so it's not so comfortable to do. So give yourself a reward. For example, if you study speaking for 30 minutes today, you'll get a piece of chocolate. And on the opposite side, there should be a punishment. If I don't study speaking for 30 minutes today, I'm going to have to take a cold shower. To be honest, I've tried to do this before with myself. It didn't work so well for me. But if you have a lot of willpower and something is very important to you, Give yourself some rewards and punishments, and you'll be surprised. It'll actually motivate you quite a bit. I mean, this is what teachers do in class. Think of when you were a little kid, you got a little sticker when you did something right, right? And you got punished. Had to sit in the corner of the room when you did something wrong. It's very common. You can do it for yourself as well. All right, tip number 3, open your mouth. So basically, I've talked about this in some other lectures. This will be different for different languages, but for a lot of people located in Asia and maybe some other cultures as well, when you're speaking your own language, your mouth tends to get tight and small. And so, "Watashi wa namae wa Josh desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu." And so it's kind of, that's just a little Japanese. So it's a little bit tighter, and the way that I'm speaking is not the same as I would in English, especially American English. So one way that I often recommend for students to improve their accent is to change their physicality, where things are located. So have a lazy tongue. So instead of, in British English, it would be Betty. This phrase, Betty bought a bit of better butter, would be Betty bought a bit of better butter. Betty bought a bitter better butter. But English would be Betty bought a bit of better butter. So our tongue is kind of lazy. It's pretty natural. There's more to this. I'm going to say this kind of quickly here. Place your voice in your chest. So again, when I'm speaking Japanese, 名前は名前は Josh です。よろしくお願いします. It kind of goes up a little bit. When I'm speaking in American English, my voice is tend to place in my chest. This is not an easy thing to do or to get used to, and it will feel unnatural if you're not used to speaking that way, but it is where most Americans place their voices in their chest. We have a kind of vibration to our speech, and so that's because it's coming from our chest. Keep your lips down and relaxed, so our lips are not too tight, and you want to relax your jaw. So just everything's kind of relaxed and chill. Everything's just kind of sliding off you, including your words in American English. Other languages tend to be a little bit tighter. I'm speaking mostly from my experience in Asia, so it might be different if you're from a Spanish-speaking country or something like that. But that's some ways to think about American English, at least. And again, this picture of American, big open mouth, and hey, how you doing? My name's Jai. Like it's very open and a little bit tighter from a Japanese perspective. So, it depends. Everybody's different, but at least speaking American English, our tongue is a little lazy, our voice is located here, and our mouth tends to open a little bit more than maybe in some other languages. Okay, read aloud, don't read. So what does that mean? One activity I give to students is to answer a simple question for a long time, like, for example, where are you from, right? And sometimes students will write their answer down. Where am I from? Okay, so I'm from, and they'll write down their answer. So I'm from Valley Stream. It's a suburb of New York. I was born there in 1982, and I lived there until 2006 when I moved to, they'll have the whole thing written out. So don't read means that, like, when you're answering a question, if you have to write it, okay, if you're trying to improve your skills, but don't, read it out loud when you're trying to practice speaking naturally, because it's not very natural to read. It doesn't sound natural when I'm reading this. It'll sound more natural when I speak. But then it says to read aloud, so this is actually a good way to hear your pronunciation if you don't feel comfortable speaking. If you I don't know what to talk about and I can't really come up with things, okay, take a book, any book here, and then you press record, and then just start reading. And then you record your voice and you just read. It says, let's see here, Colombia and Brazil that resembled those in the Congo in many respects, with the difference that here the controlling agent was not Belgian trading associations, but the Amazon Company, the head office of which was in the city of London. So you can hear yourself, and you could hear your pitch and when you go up and when you go down and that kind of thing. So it's an easy way to practice your speaking without thinking too much, actually, because you'll just be reading, and then you could try to read with more feeling. It's a good way to take some pressure off of you, I would say. Okay, find a famous voice. So this is something I recommend often to students who want to improve their accent in some way. I'll tell them to copy somebody. Find somebody you want to talk like. Instead of trying to find a lot of different voices to copy, find one person. Let's say you want to sound like Brad Pitt. All right, why don't you just ask YouTube for Brad Pitt interview and listen to him talk? Take a sentence, listen to it, and then try to speak the same way. Go up when he goes up, go down when he goes down, pause when he pauses, and try to speak like Brad Pitt. You can speak like Brad Pitt. This is what actors do. So actors, if they are playing a role, they will try to uh, take on the accent of the person they're playing. How do they take on the accent? Well, they listen to the person speak a lot and they try to copy the things that they say. This is very doable. I know it sounds kind of silly and far-fetched, but this is actually something that people do all the time. Find some person you want to copy, find some videos of them speaking, and think of some sentences you want to copy. You could sound like Brad Pitt. Number 6, write down small wins. So these are things that, you know, improving your speaking is hard and it is long and it could feel like you're not making a lot of progress. So you want to write down your small wins. So for example, let's say you have trouble saying the word thought. So I think, I thought. You have trouble saying thought, it's just hard for you. You practice it for a couple days, whatever, you practice it for a couple weeks, okay? One day you say it and somebody understands what you said. You say, I thought about this. And they said, yeah, what did you think about? And you're like, yes, they understood me. Write down that kind of thing. Write down those small wins, those things that you didn't know how to do and now know how to do. They're not really your goals, but they help you, they help push you towards your goals. They help keep you motivated. Learning a language takes quite a bit of time and can be pretty frustrating. Smile. Yay. Uh, there's your attitude has a big impact on the way that you speak. And also your attitude has a big impact on the way people see you. So maybe you don't want to talk because you're afraid of how other people will judge you. You don't want to make friends with people who speak English because you're afraid of how they'll judge you. You'd be surprised how far a good attitude and a smile will get you. So just having a good positive attitude and being around people and having this good positive attitude makes up for a lot. Even if you can't speak the language, people will still want to be around you because you're a nice presence. It's nice to be around you. And this increased exposure will give you more chances to actually practice speaking. And they'll be more open to helping you. If you go in and you're like, I don't know how to speak and I'm really nervous, and like, I'm from Valley Stream, and people don't really want to be around that type of person, right? Like, you just, I know it sounds silly. I know it's maybe not your personality, but it's one of the best ways to improve is just to have a positive attitude, and people will help you, and people will be more open to being around you, even if you can't communicate very well. Okay. Number 8, stress adverbs. So this is something we often recommend for our TOEFL students. This is an easy way to sound like an American or sound like you care about something. I'll give you a couple of examples here. These are common adverbs that we use pretty often. Actually, probably, especially, definitely, basically. I'll read a couple of sentences here so you can hear what I mean. Believe it or not, I actually believe that all high school students should wear school uniforms. So I actually believe. Actually, we stress these adverbs to emphasize the meaning of the sentence. Let me give you another example. It's probably better for students to wear school uniforms. It's probably better. So we use this information, these adverbs, to signal to the listener the level of our feelings. Another example here. I especially like uniforms they use in Italian schools. Not just I like it, I especially like this one. Especially this. Oh, I definitely believe that all high school students should wear school uniforms. Well, basically, school uniforms are a better option. The issue basically started because of, so again, I'm giving you information based on my intonation of these adverbs here. This is a pretty controversial topic. Not this is a controversial topic, this is a pretty controversial topic. I honestly believe it's not just the fact that high school uniforms are more convenient, but I really believe this. There's no doubt about it. So again, these adverbs are usually stressed, and we use them to give some meaning to the sentence and for the listener to know our level of emotion, commitment, feelings about what we're about to say. Use adverbs. Tip number 9, care about the topic. You will be able to speak about something you care about a lot better and with a lot more depth than something you don't care about. This happens a lot with TOEFL students. They'll get a question that they don't care about, and they sound like they don't care. Let's say that they don't like their hometown. Like, so yeah, I'm from Valley Stream, but it kind of sucks, and whatever, whatever. So when you have that attitude and you don't care about what you're saying, you won't be able to expand on it. When you're talking about something that excites you, maybe you're really excited about your hometown and interested in it, then you're like, yeah, yeah, so my hometown is great. It's Valley Stream, it's this place, it's really close to New York, really, really close. And they have this great coffee shop there called Sip This. And I really like going there because when I was a kid, so then I could talk and talk and talk and talk. So you care about the topic, you can talk more about it. So try to find practice with topics that you actually care about and you enjoy talking about. It'll help you. And so these are some examples of some questions that are from our tests. So would you prefer to work one job your entire life or switch jobs every 5 years? What do you think? You care about that? You care about your job? Some people prefer to read physical books or others prefer to read electronic books. Do you care about reading? If not, maybe you should try another question. Do you agree or disagree? Coworkers make the best friends. What do you think? And depending on your answer to this, you may care about this. Oh, I remember I had a coworker that was a terrible person. So you can talk about something you care about, usually something you experience or something you're interested in. Okay. And the last tip here is to avoid a monotonous tone. So my hometown is Valley Stream. I lived there till 2006, and then I went to school. I went to a university in upstate New York called SUNY. Nobody wants to listen to that. Nobody wants to listen to that. You got to have some music, go up, go down. So for example, let's see here. My hometown is Valley Stream. It's not so big, but it's kind of a big town. It's pretty close to New York City. It's about 20 minutes away, something like that. And I lived there until 2006. And then in 2006, I moved to New Paltz. Now, New Paltz is about 2 hours upstate. So you see how my voice kind of changes up and down, up and down. You want to have this music when you speak. I know this is easy for me because I'm a native speaker and this is my language, but when you're speaking, listen to what you're saying and try to hear if you do have that kind of musicality as well. All right. Is musicality a word? I don't know. I think so. Okay, so again, accent evaluations at tstprep.com. We help you get your TOEFL score as quickly and easily as possible. Our Accent Builder program helps you develop a better accent in just 60 days. Meet with Sue. It's only $9. She has a ton of experience, and she will tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your accent. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next week. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.